Hello friends, this is Fox Nival Studios. What if now you're watching second part of What is Naruto had all 5 elements. So before starting story, please subscribe our channel and press bell icon for new update. Story starts. A year of training after meeting the Kyuubi, Naruto and the Hokage was making their way to Naruto's apartment to pick up his things so he can move to his new home. He was excited over the prospect of having his very own house to live in. What made it more awesome to his 8-year-old enthusiasm is that he will be moving to his family home. Naruto have never been exposed to the concept of family since he has been alone all his life, except of course the Hokage, which he treats like a grandfather, the Ichiraku family, and dog. Weasel was also part of his family, but the Hokage informed him that he became a missing nin. He asked why. The Hokage didn't tell him, much to his annoyance. After Naruto packed up all his things, which didn't consist much since he didn't bother to stock up on his favorite items for fear the villager would just come in and trash the place, he left again towards his new home. It took a while for them to arrive, considering that his clan's compound was on the opposite side of the village, hidden in a secluded area behind the Hokage monument. Naruto was shocked when he saw the gate. It was huge. The walls were purely made of stone and adorned with various symbols, which the Hokage mentioned they were seals that made up the estate's protection. The gate was made purely of black metal, 2 iron-bound gates locked together by a circular notch in the middle holding the Namikaze Uzumaki clan symbol. A cross which consisted of a tri-pronged kunai standing on its hilt with a katana in the horizontally running through it in the middle. The Hokage explained the relevance of the symbol. The kunai was a signature move of the 4th Hokage, the Hiraishin, and the katana was Kushina's trademark since she was known as the Red Death, Konoha's most powerful sword user. Naruto was amazed by his parents' prowess in battle and made it his dream to live up to their skills or even trump them as a child should. They stopped in front of the massive gate and asked Naruto to place his hand on the notch in the middle and channel his chakra through it. He explained that the gate contained a complicated security seal that the Yondaime created to protect his family. The seal can read the chakra of the person to determine if they are part of the family to both grant and deny entrance. He also told Naruto that the library in the compound contained the instructions to allow him to add other people into the seal matrix so they can enter without his permission. He cautioned Naruto to make sure that he only add someone that he can trust. Naruto made a mental note to add both Dog and the Hokage to the matrix so they can visit him anytime. Following the old man's advice, he placed his hand on the panel and felt his chakra being absorbed by the seal. Nothing happened at first, but the panel glowed blue before a click was heard from inside. He immediately removed his hand when the circular notch turned clockwise and the gate slid to the sides, revealing a massive compound inside. The Namikaze Uzumaki compound was huge to say the least. The Hokage told him that it was larger than that of the Hyuga compound, which was said to be the most extensive in Konoha. The landscape was mostly intact, but the flowers and weeds were all over the place since it has been 8 years since it last saw any habitation or tending. Naruto noticed that there were a lot of things that needs to be repaired. He is going to be doing this for a very long time. When they entered the compound, he saw an oriental-styled mansion. The foundation was purely made of chiseled gray stones and the walls were of dark polished wood. His house can never be called a house. It was a mansion consisting of 3 floors. He was busy checking out the place when the Hokage called his attention. Now Naruto. I won't be able to show you around since I'll be busy tending to the paperwork and mission reports back in the office, so I'll leave you alone to explore the place. If you want, we can hire some genins to clean up the place, but I advise against it since the Namikaze Uzumaki compounds hold secrets that should be left alone from unwanted eyes. I will send Dog later to help you get settled in since we both know that he can be trusted. Is there anything else you need before I leave? I think I'm alright, Gigi. I can take care of myself. I'll check out the house and I'll find some rooms I can sleep in. I'll decide what to do tomorrow since it's already late, said a tired Naruto. Sure thing, my boy. I'm not sure if there's still food inside the house, but I remember Minato-kun telling me that he has preservation seals on the cabinets to keep the food fresh. You can shop for necessities tomorrow if there is any need, but for now I bid you good night. Getting a nod from Naruto, he was about to leave when he was tackled by Naruto in a tight hug. He wrapped his arms around the boy that he already considered a part of his family. Thanks a lot, Gigi. I don't know what I'll do without you, whispered Naruto. Clapping the boy on the back, he chuckled. Not to worry, Naruto. You're part of my family and I am more than happy to take care of you. Thanks again, Gigi. See you later. With that, both parted with a small farewell, ready to face the challenges that are to come in the future. Naruto saw the gate slide close with a small click when the Hokage left the compound. He turned around and made his way to the front door. He saw that it was locked, so he fished out the set of keys that he got from the old man and placed it on the keyhole and gave it a small twist. The door opened to reveal a beautifully designed, yet dusty, interior that he definitely fell in love at first sight. Like the outside, the interior was also made from dark polished wood. The furniture were in pretty good condition considering that they've been left unattended for 8 years, but the dust that covered them definitely requires some serious cleaning. A sudden thought occurred to him and activated his Kamagen. The elemental orb immediately materialized in front of him, ready for his will to command them. He willed the wind orb to go to the center of the room to create a miniature tornado to attract the dust like a vacuum cleaner. It did its job, and the clear tornado now turned into a gray-colored storm due to the number of dust in it. He gently guided the tornado outside and off the compound and allowed it to dissipate to scatter its contents. He checked out the room again and nodded for a job well done. It still needed cleaning, but it wouldn't require heavy-duty work to get it sparkling clean again. He then moved to the kitchen and repeated the same technique to get rid of the dust. He checked out the cabinets and saw that it was still stocked with enough food to get him by until he finds time to do some groceries. He pulled out the storage scroll that the Hokage gave that contained his belongings and laid it open on the table. He channeled a tiny bit of chakra to one of the kanjis painted on it to release its content. In a poof of smoke, which quickly dispersed, revealed mounds of his favorite ramen. He placed all of it on one of the empty cabinets but left 3 of them out for his dinner. He checked out the stove and saw that it was in working order, so he took one of the pans out and laid it on top of the stove. He filled it with water from the water orb and directed a stream of fire from the fire orb to light up the stove. He waited a bit for the water to boil and prepared his ramen. Dinner was quiet as he happily slurped his food down. While he was busy eating, he decided to have a talk with his tenant to ask what to do from now on. "Oi Kyuubi. You awake?" he mentally hollered just in case the fox was asleep. "Pipe down, you insufferable brat. You're too loud," growled Kyuubi, not amused at being woken up from his nap. "What do you want now?" "Nothing, I was craving for your company," Naruto said sarcastically. "Cheeky brat. What's been going on while I was asleep?" asked Kyuubi, now fully awake and giving Naruto his full attention. "Nothing much, I moved all my stuff here at my parents' house. I just wanted to talk to you what to do from now on. Maybe we can talk about my training," said Naruto excitedly. He was definitely geared towards training to get stronger. "It's too early for that, Kit. Why don't you spend a few days checking out your place and take stock on what's in here? You might want to check out the library too to see what we can work with. There should be a scroll there about the Kage Bunshin. From your memories, I see that you forgot to ask the Hokage about it." "Oops. Sorry. I forgot all about it. Idiot. Hey. I said I was sorry, didn't I? I'll check the library after I'm done." "Good. I see you're already done, so why don't you check the place out now before it gets any darker for us to see? Also check if the electricity is still on in this place. We don't want to live here without any lighting." "Sure. I'm already done eating, so I'll check the place out," agreed Naruto. After Naruto finished eating, he threw the empty ramen cups in the garbage and started his exploration of his new home. Naruto definitely liked his new home. No, he loved it. The place was everything he dreamed of. The first floor was composed of the family den, kitchen, and an entertainment room with a large TV. The door at the back opened up to a large hot spring that he definitely wanted to soak in later on. Kyuubi complimented the hot spring since it would be a great place to train his chakra control, as well as a great place to relax his sore muscles after a hard day of physical workout. The second floor was mainly composed of bedrooms. From the looks of it, there were a total of 5 rooms on the floor, 2 large rooms and 3 small ones that looks like guest rooms. Each room has its own bathroom. He chose to stay in one of the larger rooms that looked like the master's bedroom. What endeared him to it is because of his parents' things and photos that he will definitely check out later on. The third floor came at a big surprise to the blonde boy. The entire floor was the library and it was huge. After he opened the locked door by placing his hand on the clan insignia, he saw that the third floor was one big room with one section closed off. There were shelves after shelves containing hundreds of scrolls. One part of the room was an armory where you can see a lot of shinobi weapons on display. One of the walls displayed dozens of his father's tri-pronged kunai and a pedestal on the side that contained his mother's prized katana that earned her the nickname of Red Death. He vowed to learn the art of the sword to keep his mother's memory alive. After an hour of checking out library, he was astounded with the number of scrolls in the place. It was organized according to each shinobi field, mainly elemental and non-elemental jutsus, fuinjutsu, sealing, kenjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu. There was even a small alcove that contained summoning contracts on tigers, dragons, and birds. He wondered why his parents have multiple summoning contracts, so he vowed to ask the old man later. To Naruto's luck, he was able to find the scroll for the Kage Bunshin technique in the non-elemental section of the library. Kyuubi told him to bring it with him to study later before he retires for the night. He promised to have Naruto practice the technique tomorrow. It was almost midnight that Naruto finished inspecting his new home and retreated to the master's bedroom where he spent most of the time checking out his parents' things. He fell in love with his father's coat, but it was still too big for him to wear, so he planned to have a tailor make one for him as part of his shinobi outfit. He studied the Kage Bunshin scroll for a bit before going to bed. He knew that tomorrow would be a very long day. Next day, Naruto woke up early. Ever since he lived on his own after being kicked out of the orphanage when he was 4 years old, it has been his daily routine to wake up before the sun rises. He grumbled a bit and headed straight for the bathroom to freshen up. He saw that he didn't have enough toiletries, so he added that to his list of things to buy. He took a cold shower to wake him up as part of his routine and adjourned to the kitchen to fix himself some ramen for breakfast. He was interrupted when Kyuubi suddenly voiced out his concerns regarding his choice of food. "You know, ramen will not help you become the best shinobi," the Kyuubi voiced out in his mind. "What? Ramen is the best food in the world. How dare you suggest that it won't help me become the best?" ranted Naruto. "Kit, I didn't mean to insult your favorite food, but ramen won't help you much when you start with your physical training. Let's face it, what you're eating right now isn't healthy. It's because of my influence on your body right now that you're not looking malnourished. If you want your body to be in top condition, you need to eat healthy. I will not stop eating ramen and there's nothing you can do about it." "Idiot. I didn't say that you stop eating ramen. I only suggested that you eat some healthy food aside from ramen. Why didn't you say so in the first place? I just did, you idiot. Be thankful that I'm even helping you." "Thank you. You're welcome. Why are we shouting?" "Dunno. Hee," said Naruto with a sheepish grin. "Idiot," grumbled Kyuubi. "When you're done eating, I want you to go to the training ground out back and start practicing Kage Bunshin. With your chakra reserve and tenacity, I'm sure you'll get it down with only a few tries." Naruto gave Kyuubi a mental nod and quickly finished his meal. He ran to the bedroom and retrieved the Kage Bunshin scroll and rushed back down and out to the training ground. It was huge to say the least, with wooden dummies with targets painted on them so he can practice his throwing, as well as some padded logs for taijutsu practice. The shed also contained some physical training gears that would definitely help him out. He sat down on the grass, opened the scroll and started to read. He read the scroll 3 times and memorized the steps to Kage Bunshin. It requires a modified single hand seal that required him to stretch his index and middle finger and form it like a cross with both hands. He is supposed to channel enough chakra to transfer to his clones and mold it before releasing the technique. It took him almost 2 hours to get the technique down and was surprised with the result. He was aiming for single clone to appear, but the entire training yard was covered in smoke when he shouted the technique. When the smoke disappeared, the entire yard was filled to the brim with shouting Naruto clones. His target was off the mark. He was aiming for a single clone and he got 300 instead. This is going to take a lot of work. Kyuubi informed him that he has too much chakra, so the number of clones was normal even if he tried to control the output. He practiced for another hour until he was able to reduce the clones to 100. Kyuubi instructed him to assign 50 of the clones to go to the library to find chakra control exercises and the rest to start cleaning up the place. He instructed the 50 clones to go to the library to look for chakra control exercises and to start practicing them as soon as possible. The rest he told them to go to the shed out back to get some cleaning supplies and start cleaning up the entire house and ground. This got him a lot of grumbling from the clones and some shouts of "lazy ass" from a few. A short shouting match ensued, but they eventually left to do what he asked. Kyuubi told him that the clones have his personality, so he only has himself to blame for it. He grumbled a bit but eventually gave in. While the clones were busy, Kyuubi instructed Naruto to start improving his body through physical training. He told Naruto to start with running laps around the field, as many as he can for 2 hours at full speed. After a few minutes of rest, he told Naruto to start with push-ups, sit-ups, and squats 100 each. He told Naruto to increase his set by 50 once he gotten used to it. While he was running laps, Kyuubi instructed Naruto to do some shopping with the Hokage later on. He needs to add more to his training equipment, even some weights powered by chakra to be used in his training. He explained that the weight would help him in increasing his overall body strength since his exercise can only do much to improve his overall physical prowess. Time skipped 2 months in training. It has been 2 months since Naruto started his physical and mental training with Kyuubi as his instructor. His rants of slave driver and sadistic fox fell on deaf ears. It seems that the fox found it humorous to make his containers suffer through the physical regimen. However, he can never deny the results after 2 months of hard work. Naruto can now do at least 30 laps around the training compound for 2 hours at full sprint without tiring out. When he applied training weights to his body when he first started out practically brought the count down, but he got used to it after a while. He started out with 20 pounds on both hands and leg and upped them when he got used to the weights. In only 2 months, each of the weights is now at 100 pounds each. Kyuubi advised him to maintain the weight for at least a month more before increasing them so his growth won't be stunted by the extra burden. Speaking of growth, with the addition of healthy meals, Naruto's body filled out quite nicely. He is now sporting a height of 5 feet instead of his usual 4 feet 5. His muscles were showing quite nicely, but Kyuubi advised him not to overdo his weight training to avoid excessive muscles that will be a problem later on. His chakra control is now in low Chunin standard. He mastered the tree walking exercise, but Kyuubi advised him to continue with the said exercise while doing a full spar while sticking on the sides of the tree. Kyuubi explained that a shinobi should be able to instinctively do the exercise even when in full battle. Taijutsu was slow at the moment since he found the styles in the library to be unfit for his taste. He was learning the Fox Fist from Kyuubi in the Mindscape since it fits well with his build. The Fox Fist was an exclusive style of the Kitsune clan. It emulated the attack patterns of the vulpine species using speed and exceptional agility to land hits on the target. The hits were small but the continuous attacks can hold up to more damaging results. Kyuubi also told him that his current training method was for the Fox Fist style, so he was determined to continue his physical training to be fit enough to master the style. His ninjutsu training was currently on hold since Kyuubi advised him to stick with expanding his mind instead of memorizing jutsus. He informed Naruto that elemental jutsus was not in a hurry for him to learn since he can easily command his elemental orbs to do all sorts of attacks with a simple command. The Biju informed him that this was an advantage in the midst of battle since he is not hindered with doing hand seals to release an attack. Instead, Kyuubi instructed Naruto to read through jutsu scrolls and understand how the attack worked so he can replicate it with his bloodline. Also, knowing the different jutsu practiced by shinobis will give him an edge in battle. If he knows what his enemies are using against him, then he can easily come up with a counter for it. During his 2 months of scouring the Namikaze Uzumaki library, Naruto found Fuinjutsu to be an interesting subject. The Hokage told him that his father, the Yondaime, was a seals master unrivaled in all the elemental nations, so this was enough reason for Naruto to dive into the subject with gusto. However, the Hokage instructed him to just read from the books and practice his calligraphy skills so he won't have problems later on when he starts to put it into practice. Regarding the summoning contracts, the Hokage told him that among the contracts, the dragon summoning was an heirloom of the Uzumaki clan. The tiger and the bird contract were spoils of battle by Kushina. None of them was signed except for the dragon contract. He was excited to sign all 3 contracts, but the old man forbade him to do so until his chakra control progressed to water walking to avoid unnecessary chakra drain. He also told Naruto that he might not be able to sign all the contracts since he needs express permission from the boss of each summons to do so. Speaking of the old man, he was a regular visitor to the compound. The Hokage made weekly visits to check on his progress and making sure that Kyuubi wasn't hurting Naruto with his training. He definitely approved of the results. He grew closer with the old man as they made periodic walks around the village or to eat some ramen with the Ichiraku family. He also noticed that the villagers were no longer hostile to him. It seemed that the council released the information about his parentage that made all the heated glares and sneers disappear. Naruto didn't let this get to him since Kyuubi told him that these people were just impressed by his name and not him alone. This made him sad for a while, but he was determined to earn their respect through his actions. Time skip 5 months in training. Naruto's chakra control improved enough that he was able to master water walking while sparring with his clones. He was excited over the summoning contracts that made him work twice as hard, but instead of focusing on summoning animals, he diverted his attention for now to mastering his chakra manipulation bloodline. Kyuubi was helpful since he was purely made of chakra. All of his attacks were purely chakra manipulation, so he was able to give Naruto much needed tips for him to accomplish some techniques that he invented on his own. Naruto found out that chakra manipulation requires both conscious thought and deep control over his chakra. During his experimentation, he found out that he needs to carefully channel chakra through his tenketsus and release them while consciously molding them to a shape he wanted it to have. It took him a month before he was able to consciously release chakra on specific tenketsu points, but it was enough to get him started. His first project was to create a blade made of chakra. Since he wanted to honor his mother by practicing kenjutsu, he tried to use a blade made of chakra since his mother's katana was too big for him to handle at his current age. He was able to create a 3-foot blade made of chakra, but he needs to improve his control if he wants to give it a sharp edge or change its size at will. It took him another month to fully master his chakra blade and finally started in learning the basics of his mother's kenjutsu style, the whirlpool blade style. It was a style that made the Uzumakis deadly in battle. The style incorporated a flowing rhythm used along with speed and agility in order to outwit their opponents, disarming them, and precise strikes for damaging results. After finishing the instructions on the scroll, he found out that his current physical training made him a beginner in the style, so he diligently practiced the basics for now before moving on to the next level. His taijutsu style improved as well. Kyuubi deemed him to be at least Chunin level on the Fox Fist style. He was advised by the Biju to practice his chakra manipulation to allow him to create chakra nails at the tips of his fingers, since most of the attacks of the Fox Fist were purely on stabbing specific weak points in the human body, as well as slashing. Naruto's training on his elemental orbs was coming along nicely. With his studies on various ninjutsu techniques, he was able to utilize specific attacks and defense according to elements. Deciding to base his attacks according to elemental attributes, he devised various defensive measures for specific elemental attacks. For example, if the enemy fired a lightning jutsu at him, then he can easily create a defense of wind since lightning is weak against that element. He also noted on the elements that amplifies other elements as well, such as wind amplifying fire-based attacks, and stronger lightning attacks because of a target's exposure to water. This way, he can avoid using elements that will bite him in the ass later on. His fuinjutsu training is currently on hold since he doesn't have any experts around to check his work. Upon reading the materials from his father, a wrong stroke or activation on unfinished or flawed seals can have devastating effects or harmful to the user. It wouldn't do much good to create a flawed sealing scroll that will turn into a bomb after applying chakra to it. He continued to just read through his dad's notes on sealing and leave it at that for now. Time skip 1 year of training, 2 months before start of academy. With Kyuubi's hellish training regimen, Naruto was now judged to be from high Chunin to low Junin. His weights are now at 200 pounds each but can easily stay at Chunin speed even with it on. Kyuubi judged him to be at almost expert level with the Fox Fist style, and his kenjutsu is basically at low Chunin. His chakra control progressed to the point that he can easily fight on any surface for hours without tiring. His elemental orbs can now be called an absolute defense without any holes in it if he is aware of any attacks. On a subconscious level, he was able to make it to the point that his elemental orbs can block off any elemental attacks using the opposite element, thereby strengthening his defense. Dog was more than happy to fire his jutsus at him for this practice when he was available to help Naruto out. Naruto's chakra manipulation is hampered by his large reserves. Large creations like his sword and longer nails are easy, but making something small requires him to concentrate more. He also experimented with his Kamagen during his training and found out some interesting facts about its overall abilities. When the Kamagen activate, it allowed him to see chakra. This made it easy for him to utilize his chakra manipulation techniques since he can easily mold them to any shape if he can see what he's doing. It also lessened the concentration needed for any shape, which made it possible for him to master his chakra nails. Another interesting ability of the activated Kamagen is its total immunity with any forms of genjutsu. He found out its ability by accident when Dog was teaching him the basics of genjutsu, which is by far the worst of all his abilities. His overly large chakra reserves made it almost impossible to create any genjutsu, but it made him immune to up to low A-rank genjutsus. Dog was trying to entrap him in a genjutsu during one of their spars, but he noticed that it didn't take any effect since his Kamagen was active. Dog called the spar to a halt and tested out the theory and found out that the Kamagen has an automatic defense to genjutsu, which made Naruto immune to it if it is active. They both realized that Naruto's bloodline made him immune to any attacks short of physical. Naruto was currently busy with his taijutsu practice when the Hokage paid him a visit with a serious look on his face. Proving my skills, Naruto took a break from his taijutsu training upon seeing the Hokage enter the Namikaze Uzumaki compound. What made him pause, however, was the serious look on his face that always spelled trouble, which always seems to include him for some reason. "Hey Gigi. Nice of you to visit. What can I do for you?" greeted Naruto in a cheerful voice. "Good morning, Naruto. Training hard, I see," replied the Hokage, still serious. Naruto scratched his head in embarrassment and gave the old man a goofy grin. "Yeah. Kyuubi is a slave driver. He doesn't want me to slack off in my training and want me to master Fox Fist style as soon as possible. He said that it would serve me well in the future." Indeed. Having a solid grasp on a taijutsu style is basic in the shinobi arts. He paused a bit, seeming to ponder his next words carefully. "Naruto, I came with some news, though none of them are good at the moment, so maybe we can go inside your house so we can talk?" Naruto immediately picked up the seriousness of the matter, so he nodded and guided the old man to the kitchen. When the old man sat down, he hastily prepared tea for his guest. He sat down after pouring both of them a cup. "Now what do you want to talk about, old man?" asked Naruto. The Hokage didn't say anything but reached inside his robe and pulled out a small black book. He turned a few pages and handed it to Naruto. He picked it up and read what the page says. Name: Namikaze Uzumaki. Naruto. Affiliation: Civilian, Konohagakure no Sato. Rank: Age: 9. Bloodline: Kamagen, God's Eye. Abilities: the target is able to command the elements to attack and defend. Taijutsu unknown, ninjutsu unknown, genjutsu unknown. Warning: do not underestimate despite his age. Reported to be dangerous according to sources. Ability is able to destroy large numbers in a matter of seconds. Bounty: 10 million Ryo. Status: alive, kill or apprehend on sight. Naruto was shocked. He was in a book and it looks like he is a wanted criminal. This shook him to the very core. What is the meaning of this? He looked at the Hokage's somber face. "What is this, Gigi?" His voice shook as he voiced out his question. The Hokage sighed. "That, Naruto-kun, is a bingo book from Iwagakure." "What is a bingo book?" "A bingo book is like a wanted poster for all shinobis with a bounty on their heads. It seems that Iwa got word of your inheritance. How, I don't know. I would guess that someone from the council released your information outside the village. Iwa got word of it and immediately placed you in their bingo book with a large reward. Still a child but already an A-rank nin." He chuckled over the last part. "But why? I didn't do anything to them. Why would they add me in the bingo book and to be killed for Kami's sake?" whined Naruto. "Naruto, you need to understand that Iwa harbors a major hatred against your father, and in this case, your family. In the Third Great Shinobi War, your father decimated hundreds of Iwa shinobis with his Hiraishin. The Namikaze name is greatly feared in Iwa, and it seems that this fear and hatred have carried on to you." The Hokage explained in a serious tone. Naruto sighed. "I guess there is nothing we can do about this. I mean, there is no way we can just send a word to their cage and tell them to remove me from their bingo book," said Naruto in a dejected voice. "Indeed. Don't worry, Naruto. I have the Anbu on the case. They are on alert around the village and my spies outside the village are monitoring all shinobis they can find just in case some of them plan to go ahead with your bounty." "Thanks, old man. I guess I need to train harder so I can protect myself," said Naruto, smiling a bit over the irony of the situation. He always aimed to gain the respect of everyone through his actions, but it seems that he got the opposite. He hasn't even ventured outside the village and he is already known and feared by Iwa. It was ironic indeed. You're welcome, Naruto. Now what I want to do right now is to test you. I have no doubt that you have come a long way in the shinobi arts. I want to have a spar with you to see what you're capable of. I decided to see what you can do to alleviate this old man's fears when you become a shinobi of Konoha," said the Hokage, but you can see the excited gleam in his eyes over the prospect of battling Naruto. "Sure, Gigi. When you do want to hold the spar?" asked an overexcited Naruto. "Why don't we adjourn to your training ground and have our spar there?" asked the Hokage. "Sure, Gigi. Let's go." He paused. "Can you wait for me in the training ground? I need to change into my shinobi outfit. If you want to spar, then we might as well make this a shinobi spar, right?" The Hokage laughed. "I wouldn't want it any other way, Naruto. See you outside." With that, the Hokage left for the training ground while Naruto went up to his room to change into his shinobi outfit. The Hokage's jaw dropped when Naruto came out of the house and into the training ground. He looked just like Minato when he was his age. It seems that Naruto emulated his father's outfit into his own battle gear. He saw that Naruto was wearing a black muscled shirt that revealed his lithe muscles underneath. He wore a dark gray cargo pants with multiple pockets that can easily hold small scrolls and supplies. He also wore a pair of black combat boots instead of the usual shinobi sandals. Holsters were strapped on both his thighs, possibly holding kunais and shurikens. Over his shirt, he wore a white robe with blue flames at the hem. The sleeves of the robe were loose and almost reached his fingers. Over his heart is the insignia of the Uzumaki Namikaze clan. On the other side, however, held a curious design, a fox with 5 tails each with a different color signifying his elements. "Minato, Kushina, you would have been very proud of your son," thought the Hokage. Naruto approached the Hokage and gave him a cheeky grin. "So Gigi, what do you think?" The Hokage gave an approving nod. "You look good, Naruto-kun. It seems that you based your shinobi outfit with your father's. It suits you perfectly as his heir." "Thanks, Gigi. So how do you want to do this?" asked Naruto. "Why don't we start out with the taijutsu first followed by ninjutsu? Then we can go into an all-out spar. What do you think?" Naruto gave him an enthusiastic nod. "Sure, Gigi. Anytime you're ready, old man." With that, Naruto went into his taijutsu stance. The Hokage saw Naruto went into a battle-ready stance. It seems that Kyuubi's tutelage over the fox fist style suited Naruto very well. There were no holes in his defenses. Naruto slid into a basic stance of the fox fist style. Left leg front and right leg back. His right hand was balled into a fist and pulled back to his right hips while his left hand was out in front with hands resembling that of a claw. Overall, it was an intimidating sight. The Hokage nodded his approval over the powerful stance in front of him. He pulled off his robe to reveal his battle outfit similar to that of the Shoden. He took off his cage hat, threw it in one corner of the training field and got into a battle stance. Naruto wasted no time in waiting. He tensed a bit then shot off at his opponent with amazing speed which shocked the Hokage. He took a swipe with his left hand which the Hokage easily dodged and lashed out with a kick to the ribs which the old man blocked an arm. The blow was definitely strong. There was a lot of power in that kick. To think that he didn't even channel chakra to amplify the blow, thought the surprised Hokage. Wanting to get this show on the road, the old man lashed out with a well-aimed punch to Naruto's chest which was swiped away that effectively opened up his defense. Naruto took action and released a punch that almost got him but was barely able to block with an arm. They continued trading blows for a few more minutes, none gaining an advantage over the other. What Naruto lacked in experience he made up with speed and agility. The Hokage, seeing that Naruto's taijutsu was effective, he decided to go all out and released a barrage of punches and kicks that slowly destroyed the young man's defense. After a few seconds of blocks and blows, the Hokage saw a hole in the young man's defense and quickly lashed out with a well-aimed kick to the chest. Naruto felt air left his lungs with the strength of the kick that sent him sprawling to one end of the training ground. He groaned but immediately got up and took up a defensive stance while waiting for his healing factor to take care of the damage. "Very good, Naruto. Your taijutsu is definitely on mid-chunin level. It seems that the fox fist style suited you well. You can easily improve when you gain battle experience as you match your ability with other opponents. Now let's proceed with ninjutsu. Prepare yourself." shouted the old man and went through a series of hand seals and released his technique. Earth style. Mud bullets. The Hokage took a deep breath then shot out a couple of mud bullets at Naruto with amazing speed and accuracy. Naruto was already healed when he heard the old man complimented his taijutsu and told him to proceed with ninjutsu. He was caught off guard when the old man sped through a series of hand seals and shouted an earth technique. Not wasting any time, Naruto immediately activated his Kamagen. The elemental orbs immediately materialized around him, then threw his arm out, willing the water orb to release a torrent of water in front of him, successfully stopping the attack. He raised another arm and commanded the wind orb to release a powerful gust of wind similar to the wind style, grand breakthrough that he read in one of the wind scrolls in his father's library. The Hokage saw this attack and sped through another set of hand seals and slammed his hands on the ground. Earth style. Earth wall. A wall of earth effectively blocked the attack, but the strength of Naruto's wind blew a few chunks off the defense, but his attack failed to reach the old man. Seeing that the old man was able to block his attack, Naruto released the water orb from its position and commanded it to take position on top of the field, waiting for further commands. When he saw the old man release his defense, he shouted, "Now!" The water orb, who was innocently hovering over the battlefield, released a continuous stream of water that shot off to the Hokage with pinpoint accuracy. He saw this and jumped out of the way, but the water seems to follow his movement like a predator to a prey. He continued to dodge but was caught off guard when he heard the crackle of lightning. He looked at the direction of the sound and saw a stream of white lightning heading his way, aiming to electrocute him. Shit, the Hokage cursed over the double attack and replaced himself with a log when the attacks hit him. Naruto saw the Hokage effectively dodging his water attacks and fired off his lightning wave for a pincer move. The attacks hit the Hokage dead center that caused a large shockwave that caused the ground to shake. When the smoke died down, all he saw was a large burnt log in the middle of the crater that his attacks created. He heard something behind him only to turn and saw a large fireball screaming towards him. Damn it! He reacted instinctively and a wall of earth shot out of the ground to block the incoming ball of fiery death. The attack was effectively cut off, but the old man wasn't done yet. Seeing that Naruto was blinded because of the wall of earth he created to block his fireball, he teleported behind the boy and released a stream of red-hot fire. Fire style. Raging Inferno. Naruto felt the Hokage behind him, but he was ready this time. He recalled the water orb from its vantage point on top of the battlefield to his side, then commanded it to release a powerful jet of water. Both attacks collided between them, causing a large amount of steam to appear. Getting tired of basic attacks, Naruto prepared his orbs for his ultimate attack that he practiced a few months back. "I hope you're ready, old man. Have a taste of my ultimate technique," Naruto shouted and threw both his arms out to the Hokage. The elemental orbs followed their master's command and floated in front of his outstretched hands and got into formation. The orbs took its place in front of Naruto, creating a circular formation, like that of a five-pointed star similar to his Kamagen, and rotated, slowly at first then at high speed that made them appear as a blur. Without warning, each orb released its own set of attacks while spinning, releasing a twirling mass of elemental barrage in a steady stream that definitely reeked of power and destruction. The Hokage saw this and paled. Each of the elemental attacks packs quite a punch, but all of them together will surely kill him. It has enough chakra to turn him into dust. In desperation, the Hokage sped through a series of hand seals for his own ultimate defense and slammed it on the ground, hoping against hope that it would hold against Naruto's powerful assault. Earth style. Ultimate defense. Kami's embrace. A 7 feet thick slab of earth appeared around the Hokage, creating a semicircular shield around him that met the attack head-on. Naruto's attack hit the thick shield of earth, causing a shockwave. The shield held, so Naruto kept the attack on, hoping to break the old man's defense. A few minutes of stalemate. Naruto was almost depleted of chakra, so he stopped the attack and promptly fell to his knees, gasping for breath. When he looked up, he saw that the Hokage's shield was sporting cracks all over, and the part that got hit by his attacks was cracked and showing signs of giving way. The Hokage felt Naruto's attacks subside, so he allowed the shield to crumble and saw his surrogate grandson kneeling on the ground panting. He was proud of the boy for his achievement. That last attack was definitely powerful. The boy was young, so his chakra reserves weren't at its prime, so it is only normal for the boy to almost pass out of exhaustion after all the attacks and defenses he released during their spar. He walked over to the boy and knelt down. Are you okay, Naruto? Naruto took in a deep breath to satiate his craving lungs, still exhausted over the last attack. Yeah, I'm alright. That last attack was supposed to only last for a few seconds, but I kept it up for so long that it drained me. The Hokage nodded. Indeed. The last attack was so powerful that I have no choice but to bring out my own ultimate defense. It was one of my personal techniques that created a thick shield of earth strengthened by my own chakra. If you kept that attack up for a few more seconds, then it would have broken through and obliterated me, said the Hokage. His voice spoke of how proud he was of his achievement.
But still I wasn't able to beat you, old man, said a dejected Naruto.
Come now, Naruto. I'm the Hokage. I should be strong enough to protect the village and those I love. I wouldn't be much a Hokage if I was brought down easily, would you? Chuckled the old man. You're right. Hee, I guess I was just expecting too much of myself, said Naruto, a sheepish grin on his face. Nonsense. You did more than I expected, and proud of you, my boy. You held your own against me, and I'm sure that you can easily protect yourself when the need arises. Now, let's head over back to your home. There are some things we need to discuss, especially with the academy opening in 2 months. Naruto nodded and took one last deep breath of air, then stood up. He stretched for a bit to loosen some of the muscles before heading over to the kitchen. He brought out the leftover cake from the fridge and a pitcher of orange juice and placed it on the table. So Gigi, what do you think of the spar? Asked Naruto, wanting to know how he fared against the Hokage. He took a slice of cake and bit a large chunk out of it. The Hokage sipped his juice and gathering his thoughts to give Naruto a proper evaluation. Well, I can only say that I'm proud of you, my boy. The spar itself was amazing, and you were displaying skills that Junins can only dream of. Your taijutsu is easily Chunin level and can even give off devastating attacks if you take time to channel chakra through them, and your speed is also at Chunin level. Heheha, I knew I forgot something. I forgot to remove my training weights. Heheha, said a sheepish Naruto. The Hokage was floored. Naruto was that fast even with weights on. This kid keeps on surprising him. How much weight do you have on, Naruto-kun? Let me see, I'm at 200 pounds each on my wrists and legs. So I guess I have a total of 800 pounds of weights on me, said a grinning Naruto. I see. The Hokage felt his jaw drop when Naruto told him the amount of weights on his body. He immediately agreed that Kyuubi was a slave driver. Even the famed Maida guy didn't have that amount of weights when he was at Naruto's age. So if you remove your weights, I would say that you are at Junin speed? Yep. According to Kyuubi, I would be at mid to high Junin with my weights off, said Naruto proudly. The Hokage nodded. Amazing. It seems that your training was quite serious, Naruto? Well, let's continue with the assessment of your skills. If what you say is true, that you could have easily landed a blow when your weights is removed, so I guess your overall taijutsu is at Junin level. Your ninjutsu was indeed noteworthy, especially on how you manipulated your elemental orbs, especially for that last attack. Can you explain it to me? Asked the Hokage. Sure, Gigi. I don't have a name for my last attack yet. I only perfected it last month when I saw one of Dog's jutsu while we were sparring. The attack was a combination of all 5 elements. What I did was to let the orbs spin in a circular formation in front of me at high speed. This way, when they release their attacks, it would come together like a drill. Aside from the elemental damage, Kyuubi told me that the spinning motion of all the elements will allow it to act like a drill that is able to bypass any forms of defense. Naruto paused a bit. I guess I can call that attack 5 elemental drill or elemental drill, he finished excitedly. The Hokage laughed at Naruto's childlike enthusiasm over the naming of his technique. Indeed. The name suits the technique well. Now Naruto, in 2 months you will be attending the academy, so we need to talk about how you would be acting around the rest of your peers, the old man said in a serious voice. Naruto cocked his head to the side, curious over what the Hokage was insinuating. What do you mean, Gigi? What I want you to do, Naruto, is to downplay your abilities. Your elemental orbs are already well known throughout the village, so you can use them as you see fit. However, I want you to downplay your overall skills to avoid alerting your enemies to what you are truly capable of. Remember, a shinobi's most powerful tool is deception, so I want you to hide your skills and only bring them out in dire situations. You can be open with your skills once you have reached the rank of Chunin, explained the Hokage. He has a point, Kit. Not only will you bond with your peers but you will surely have the element of surprise when you are in battle. If they don't know what you can do then they will be unprepared for it," advised Kyuubi. He was proud of his container. The battle was indeed amazing. The way he used his elements to attack and defend was noteworthy. The last attack definitely has potential, especially when Naruto's development reaches his prime. "Okay old man. I'll do that," said Naruto. "Thank you Naruto. Also, I want you to expand your supplemental jutsus. Since you already have the elemental techniques down, I want you to increase your survival rate using supplemental ninjutsus. You didn't use any of it in battle so I guess you didn't take that into consideration during your training." "Supplemental jutsus? What are those?" asked a confused Naruto. "Those are the basic jutsus taught in the academy. You already have the Bunshin, clone, technique down so you might want to expand your repertoire with Kawarimi, substitution, henge, transformation, and maybe shunshin, high-speed teleportation. This will greatly aid you in battle." Naruto was excited in learning those techniques. They sound interesting to say the least. He immediately created 5 shadow clones and instructed them to go to the library and search those techniques out and any other supplemental jutsus that he would want to learn. The Hokage chuckled over Naruto's enthusiasm and laughed outright when he created shadow clones and instructed them to go to the library to search those techniques out. Things will definitely be fun in the future with Naruto on the job. When summons collide, Naruto spent the last 2 months before attending academy with physical training, as well as getting to know his summons well. It didn't take much for them to agree to have him sign all 3 contracts at once, but the argument that broke over who would be his primary summon took quite a while to solve. Flashback 1 month before academy starts. Naruto was in the training field preparing himself to sign the summoning contracts. He, along with the Hokage, decided to get this done because the aid of summons would greatly help him in the future. The Hokage told Naruto to start first with the Dragon Summon contract since it is part of his inheritance and it wouldn't take much for him to be accepted by the boss. "So GG. What should I do first?" asked the Hokage while laying down the 3 summoning contracts on the grass. "Open up the Dragon Summoning contract first. You need to sign your name on the contract with your blood, then finish it off by stamping your handprint in blood on top of your name. After doing so, all you need to do is to perform a couple of hand seals and channel as much chakra as you can while shouting out the technique." Naruto did as he was instructed and opened the Dragon Summoning contract first. He saw that the last entry was signed by his mother and a wave of nostalgia flowed through him. He considered it an honor to follow his mother's footsteps and become the next Dragon Summoner. That is if he is accepted by the boss summon. He bit into his thumb and signed his name on the contracts and dipped each finger of his right hand on the bleeding thumb to get some blood on it, then stamped it down above his name. He rolled the scroll up, took a deep breath to calm himself, then flashed through the hand seals that the Hokage showed him earlier while gathering as much chakra he could, then slammed his right hand on the ground with a shout, "Summoning technique." A large puff of smoke covered the entire training field. After dispersing, it revealed a large dragon almost as tall as the Hokage monument. It was covered in bluish-white scales that covered it from the head to the top of its tail that reflected the rays of the sun, making it look like finely cut sapphires. The dragon sported a mane of silvery hair that separated the head from its long body. The head was definitely one to inspire awe and fear, more so with the rest of its stature. The eyes of the dragon was of deep cerulean blue like Naruto's own and 1 whisker on each side of the nose. It released a loud roar that resounded all throughout the village. He looked down towards Naruto. "Who summoned me, the leader of the dragon clan?" the dragon bellowed in a loud voice. Naruto calmed himself real quick. It would do much good to faint dead in front of such majestic creature even if he was justified to do so. I did," stuttered Naruto. The dragon, seeing Naruto admit that he was the summoner, lowered his head to get a good look at the boy. He sniffed and smelled the faint scent of the Uzumaki clan that he remembered a decade ago. Indeed, this was her child then. "Who are you, young one, and why have you summoned me?" asked the gigantic summon. "My name is Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto Dragon-sama," replied Naruto in a confident tone. "Uzumaki? Interesting. Tell me, boy, where did you get the contract?" "I found the contract in my family's library. The old man told me that the dragon summoning contract is a part of my mother's inheritance." "There is truth to your words, boy. Now tell me, who is your mother?" "My mother is Uzumaki Kushina Dragon-sama." The dragon was now very interested in the child. This was Kushina's boy. You are Kushi-chan's child? Getting a nod from Naruto, he continued. Tell me, child, why have you summoned me? I signed the contract in hopes of following my mother's footstep to become the next summoner of the Dragon Clan, replied Naruto with a heavy overtone of determination in his voice. This surprised the dragon a bit. It seems that Kushina's determination appeared true to her child. But not everyone can just sign the contract and become the next dragon summoner, and hopefully the dragon sage as well. He needs to pass the test first. That is a worthy goal, child. But in order for you to be accepted by the Dragon Clan, you need to pass my test first. Are you ready, child? Know that once you failed in the test, then there is no second chance. I will take the dragon contract with me until we find the next worthy summoner for our clan. Do you wish to proceed, child? Said the dragon, trying to scare the boy to see if his determination is true. Naruto didn't back down and wasn't scared, to say the least. Hearing the repercussion of the test didn't faze him one bit. Instead, he just glared at the dragon and showed fiery determination in his eyes. Bring it on. I'm not scared. This brought forth a healthy chuckle from the immense summon. We shall see, child. My test is the test of the soul. I will be seeing your life and decide then if you are fit to be the holder of my clan's contract. He moved his head closer to the boy that brought them face to face, which was a feat in itself since the dragon's head alone dwarfed Naruto by a large margin. Enough. The dragon bellowed. Look deep into my eyes, child, and let me into your soul. The dragon looked into Naruto and saw his life bared for him to see. He saw the fierce determination that allowed the boy to go through with his rigorous training. He was shocked that the boy also holds the Kyuubi like his mother before him. He growled at the beatings and glares he got from the villagers and was curious over the evolution of his bloodline. But despite everything that the child has seen and experienced, the courage and determination of his is unsurpassed. The dragon decided there and then that this child is a worthy summoner for his clan. The dragon released his mental link with the boy and boomed in a loud, yet soft voice. I find you worthy to be the Dragon Clan's summoner, Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. You have faced rough challenges in your life, but you faced it head-on with enough courage and bravery of that of an entire army. You may address me as Seiryu, the boss of the Dragon Clan, and you may summon me and my clan for any task you wish. My only advice that you stay true to your goal in life and don't let your determination and courage waver despite the future you have chosen to thread. Naruto nodded and was glad that he was accepted by the great dragon in front of him. He bowed low to the dragon boss. My gratitude to you, Seiryu-sama. I promise that I will uphold the Dragon Clan's honor as its summoner and will not abuse this gift that you allowed me. The dragon chuckled. Indeed, child. Is there anything else you wish of me before I return to my home? Asked Seiryu. I wonder if you would allow me to sign other contracts? Asked Naruto. The dragon gave him a long look, pondering the request. Tell me, child. Why would you want to sign other contracts that you already have one that is more powerful than the rest? Queried Seiryu. To be honest, I don't have reason for doing so, Seiryu-sama. The only reason I could think of when the thought occurred to me is to honor my mother by using the contracts that she has gained during her time as a shinobi. I wasn't sure if such a thing was allowed, so I would like to ask your permission, as my clan summon, if it is allowed. The boss dragon pondered over the boy's request. Which contracts were you planning to sign? The tiger and bird contract, Naruto informed the dragon. Oh? Those contracts have been thought lost over the ages. It seems that Kushi-chan has found them and kept them as her own. I give my permission to sign other contracts and would ask of you to treat them as you would treat my clan. The Tiger and Bird clan have been close friends with my kind, so this wouldn't go against any treaty between summons. I will inform them upon my return to my plane. Summon them in an hour so they may know about you. The dragon gave his approval. That disappeared in a large puff of smoke. Both Naruto and the Hokage released the breath they were holding with a large sigh. Being under the shadow of the great dragon was too much for them to handle. They both know that the Dragon Clan is one of the strongest summon in the summoning realm, and insulting one is tantamount to suicide. The Hokage released a throaty chuckle. Naruto just looked at him, confused by the sudden laughter. What's wrong, Gigi? Oh, nothing, Naruto-kun. It's just that you keep surprising me. Not only did you gain the allegiance of one of the strongest summoning clans in the entire nation that dwarfed the Sanin's own, but he gave you permission to sign the others as well. Really? Is the Dragon Clan really that strong? Asked Naruto. The Hokage nodded. Yes, There are 4 legendary summons that existed since the time of the Rikudo Sennin, the Dragon Clan and the Phoenix Clan to name a few. But that's a story for another time. This got a pout from Naruto, and seeing his face made the Hokage release another set of chuckles. Why don't we get something to eat? You need to replenish your chakra reserves since you will be summoning the 2 other contracts you have. I don't have any idea about the tiger and bird contract since there has been no record of them here in Konoha, so it would be best to prepare for the worst. This got a nod from Naruto, and both adjourned to the kitchen to make some snacks and pass the time. Time skip 1 hour after meeting the dragon boss. Naruto and the Hokage was again in the training yard preparing for the next set of summons. By the way, Naruto, when you summoned Seiryu, how much chakra did it take to bring him here? Asked a curious Sarutobi. Naruto pondered for a bit. It didn't really eat up a lot of chakra for him to summon Seiryu, but compared to his reserves it would probably take Junin level. I guess it took about a fifth of my reserves, Gigi, he admitted to the old man. Sarutobi did a double take. A fifth of Naruto's current chakra supply was comparable to that of a Junin level ninja. Usually, summons would only require just a small amount of chakra to initiate the transfer, but for Naruto to reveal that it ate up a fifth of his supply, then it would definitely knock out any seasoned Junin just by summoning the boss. As far as he knew, it didn't take that much to even summon his Enma or Jiraiya's Gamabunta. He guessed that not everyone is capable of summoning a legendary summon, like Seiryu. Okay, Naruto-kun. How's your chakra supply now? I'm at full capacity, Gigi. I don't know why Kyuubi replenished my chakra stores without me asking. He just told me to prepare for the next set of summons. He even suggested to do both at the same time. What do you think? Asked Naruto. Well, if Kyuubi said so, then you might as well do it. He hasn't let you down as of yet, so there is no reason not to trust him, replied Sarutobi. For now, he added as an afterthought. Naruto just shrugged and opened up both contracts at the same time. He signed the bird contract first, followed shortly by the tiger. He closed both after signing, then gathered double the chakra he used to summon Seiryu, then slammed his hand on the ground while shouting out the technique. This time, the smoke that appeared was larger than his previous attempt. In fact, the ground was covered with them along with the surrounding woods. This scared Sarutobi a bit since only very large summons could produce this much smoke when they appeared. When the smoke cleared, what he saw definitely scared him to the bones. This wasn't any ordinary contract. Like Seiryu, the bird and tiger contract was also legendary contracts.
The bird was no ordinary bird. It was a phoenix, one of the legendary summons. It was as tall as Seiryu. Its feathers were a mix of gold and red that made it look like it was on fire. Its wingspan was impressive, possibly able to cover half of Konoha when stretched out. If his memory served him right, this was the phoenix summon, Suzaku.
The tiger was the same size as Suzaku. It was none other than the legendary white tiger, Byakko. He decided that either Naruto was amazing or just plain suicidal. Naruto was starting to get scared now. He thought Seiryu was impressive, but nothing prepared him when these two appeared. He thought that the tiger and bird contract were minor summons, but from the looks of these two, they were anything but that. He looked at the Hokage, who was also pale and looked a bit scared. Gigi. I thought that the bird and tiger were minor contracts, they don't look ordinary to me, Naruto said in a scared voice. Naruto, it seems that these are not ordinary contracts that your mother acquired. I understand the dragon contract since it has been rumored that it is a part of the Uzumaki clan, but to summon these two as well, then I can only say that either you're an amazing boy with the blessings of Kami herself, or you're plain suicidal. This got a shocked look from Naruto. It seems that your luck is with you today, boy. You just summoned 2 others of the legendary summons. The bird is a phoenix named Suzaku. It seems that he is the boss of the bird clan. The tiger is the legendary white tiger Byakko. Indeed, we are human. Along with Suzaku and Seiryu, we are the legendary summons, bellowed Byakko, who then released a loud roar similar to that of the boss dragon. Suzaku didn't say anything but lowered her head, giving Naruto a leer which scared the poor boy. So this is the boy that Seiryu told us about. He is indeed impressive, don't you think? Suzaku asked Byakko. He doesn't look much. He is rather short, snorted Byakko. Naruto hated being called short. Sure, he was short for his generation, but it wasn't his fault. He activated his Kamagen and the elemental orbs appeared around him. He glared at Byakko and shouted, "Shut up, furball." If you think I'm short, then come down here and I'll give you an ass kicking that you will never forget. Sarutobi was scared stiff now. Naruto just insulted Byakko, one of the legendary summons. He prayed to Kami that he would survive this ordeal. He prayed hard that Konoha would survive this. A loud chuckle and an amused screech interrupted him from his so-called prayer. Seryu was right. This boy is definitely one of a kind. It's not every day that a boy would insult me like this. He bellowed while continuing to chuckle. He looked at Naruto, who was fuming for being called short, and chuckled some more, which didn't bode well with the blonde boy. Calm down, child. I was just testing the bravery that Seryu complimented so much when he brought you to our attention. He definitely has a lot of spunk to him, doesn't he? He wouldn't be a bad summoner for us. Suzaku looked at Naruto then. Boy, why don't you summon Seryu? There are some things we need to discuss with him. It's not every day that we three have the same summoner. There are some things that need to be settled. Naruto nodded to the request and took a deep breath to calm himself down. He gathered the required chakra, did the seals for the 4th time today, then slammed his hand on the ground. Another large puff of smoke appeared in between the two legendary summons, which revealed an amused Seryu. It hasn't been a day yet and you brought me out again, young one. What seems to be the problem? I don't know, Seryu-sama. Suzaku-sama and the white furball over there asked me to summon you back here. He pointed an accusing finger at a grumbling Byakko. Seryu just gave his fellow summon an amused look. You insulted him, didn't you? Among all of us, you have always been one to have a runaway mouth, Byakko. Oh, shut up, you old pile of scales. I didn't know that the kid doesn't like to be called short. Byakko was interrupted by a large rock that conked him on the head. He looked down and saw a red-faced Naruto with another rock floating in front of him, ready to throw again. Don't call me short, you overgrown pile of fur. How dare you throw a rock at me, you pitiful human. Human ami. Here's another one for you, your majesty. With that, he threw another rock at Byakko, which hit him on the nose that caused him to sneeze. Seryu was currently laughing his head off and Suzaku was currently sprawled on the ground, rolling in laughter. Byakko huffed. Shut up, you two. Oh no. This is just too much. Byakko, the white tiger of the legendary summons, was conked on the head by a small, young boy. Bellowed Seryu, which hastily changed the small adjective before the boy set his sights on him. I am so telling everyone about this. Ha ha ha, screeched Suzaku. Fine, fine. I'll let it go this once, sure. He paused when he saw the boy create another rock, this one larger than the first two. I mean boy. Growled Byakko. Just don't call me short. Naruto huffed while crossing his arms over his chest and looked away. This brought a chuckle from the three legendary beasts. When Seryu got his composure back, he looked over at his fellow summons. Why have you asked Naruto to summon me? Simple, now that the kid has signed and got accepted by all three of us. We need to decide who becomes the primary summon, said Byakko. Oh, I thought that is already decided. Since he is an Uzumaki, then it only stands to reason that I become his primary summon, calmly replied Seryu. Oh no, you don't, you old prune. We are all the same rank here, so it's not right for you to become his primary summon. I won't have any dragon lording over me, huffed Suzaku. Well, tough luck, you old bag of feathers. He signed my contract first, so I technically hold superiority over both the of you, said Seryu, defending himself. Shut up, Seryu. Why don't we three deck it out and the winner becomes Naruto's primary summon? Byakko suggested, itching to get a fight. I agree. It has been a while since we all three went all out in a fight, Suzaku agreed. All three were about to attack each other when a huge gust of wind hit them head-on. The wind was powerful enough to push them back. They looked down to see that Naruto was panting on the ground, possibly from exhaustion from releasing such a powerful attack just to get their attention. It wasn't easy. After all, they are legendary summons after all. Naruto took a deep breath to get some air back to his lungs. He already felt Kyuubi laughing his head off while replenishing his chakra supply. He growled and looked at the three summons with a glare. Don't you dare fight here. You'll destroy my house. You'll destroy all of Konoha for Kami's sake, shouted Naruto. Well then, young one. How do you think we should settle this dispute? Said Seryu, humoring the child's outburst. Naruto thought about it at first and asked the three summons in front of him. Why do I need a primary summon anyway? What's the big deal of having a primary summon? Suzaku chose to answer the boy. Young one, when someone is worthy or powerful enough to summon one of us, then they are automatically our representatives in this world. He will become a sage taught by our arts and techniques when they reach the proper age and power. So because there are 3 of us, then it is not possible for you to become a sage when all 3 of us are your primary summons. Why is that? I mean, there is nothing wrong in becoming a sage for you 3, asked a confused Naruto. Look here kid. It's not that simple. Becoming a sage means that you get a part of our powers. One of us alone will practically boost your powers that you will easily become the strongest among the elemental nations. Kami has set this rule, so we can't just easily bestow you with all of our abilities. No human should be that powerful. There are limits to these types of things. Explained by Akko. Then don't. If you're just going to argue all day, then I refuse to become a sage. I can live without your gifts anyway. I'll get strong on my own. Believe it, declared Naruto. He has always relied on his own strength and he survived so far without any help, so why would this be any different? This shocked all 3 summons at the same time. This kid is refusing their gifts that would practically make him the most powerful being on the planet. No human should be able to resist the temptation of power. The lure was just too much. But this kid just scoffed their gifts and just prefers them to be his summons. This kid just keeps amazing them. He is either selfless or just plain stupid. Seiryu, Suzaku, and Byakko just gave each other long looks as if communicating with their eyes alone. It seems that Naruto just passed another test. This time, he passed Kami's loophole when such an event happened. It was Seiryu who spoke for the 3 of them. Congratulations Naruto. You passed another one of our tests. Or to be more precise, you passed Kami's test. Naruto just gave all 3 of his summons a long and confused look. What do you mean I passed the test? I thought I was already accepted as your summons. Indeed. You did pass our test individually and you have become our summoner. However, you passed another test. An unspoken test set by Kami herself when more than one legendary summon has the same summoner. Okay. I'm really confused. Can you please explain it to me? Asked Naruto. It is simple young one. You see, Kami herself foresaw that it is possible for our summoning contracts to befall on the same summoner, so it is very possible for our special group to have the same summoner. Considering the rule in bestowing our summoner some of our powers, Kami herself made a loophole. A test, you might say, to see if the person is granted that specific loophole. Suzaku explained to the blonde boy. And what test did I just pass? Simple. You passed the test of power. You see, it has always been human nature to crave more power. However, there are reasons for such a person to do so. They will either want the power to rule others, to avenge, or even to kill. However, you changed all that. When you saw that we were arguing over the power we can bestow upon you, you made up your mind to forego such gifts and simply rely on your own strength. That shows your determination to rise above others without having to accept power from others. So you passed Kami's test. Crowed Suzaku, proud of his new summoner. So since I passed this test, do I still become a sage, and who will become my primary summon? Yes, you will become a sage, but instead of being taught our arts, you will be given specific gifts or abilities that we think you might need for the future. Regarding primary summons, well, we all would be your primary summon. So we will be giving you our own brand of summoning contract as befitting of our in your station. Finished Suzaku. She looked at the others and nodded their heads. She rose to her full height and bellowed, Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. Do you accept to be the summoner of the Bird Clan? Naruto bowed. Yes Suzaku-sama, said Naruto with a voice filled with utter determination and conviction. Good. Then hold out your arm and receive my contract with you. Naruto held out his right arm and Suzaku shot a stream of fire directly at Naruto, who didn't even flinch from the incoming flame. Instead of burning Naruto to a crisp, the flame compacted and raced towards his bicep. He felt a small burn, then the flame disappeared, revealing a phoenix tattoo with the same colors as Suzaku. It was both intimidating and beautiful. If you need to summon me or my clan, all you need to do channel your chakra to the tattoo and we will appear. This time, Seiryu spoke. Young one. I know that I have already accepted you as the Dragon Clan summoner, but protocol must be followed. Seeing Naruto nod, he continued. Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto, will you accept the responsibility befitting to that of the Dragon Clan summoner? Naruto bowed again and addressed his first summon. I agree Seiryu-sama. Very well boy. Make the Dragon Clan proud of your actions. Hold out your right arm to receive my contract. A bright blue lightning shot out from Seryu's mouth and wound itself on Naruto's wrists. When the lightning disappeared, it revealed a dragon tattoo wrapped around Naruto's wrist. It bore the likeness of Seryu biting its own tail. This is similar to Suzaku's mark. To call me and the Dragon Clan, just concentrate your chakra to my tattoo. Byakko growled to catch Naruto's attention. I hate formalities, but oh well. He drew himself to his full height. Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. Do you accept the duty involved in being the summoner of the Tiger Clan? Naruto was about to call him furball but remembered at the last minute the situation he was in. So he reined in his childish side and addressed the white tiger properly as befitting of its station. I accept, Byakko-sama. I will uphold the honor and duty as befitting of a tiger summoner. Byakko nodded in admiration over Naruto's conviction. Good, hold out your right arm to receive my contract. He opened his mouth and shot a beam of compressed light towards the back of Naruto's hand. He felt his hand numbed a bit when the back of his hand was hit by the light, but he just ignored it. The light disappeared and revealed a tattoo of a roaring Byakko. When the ceremony was finished, Naruto was admiring his new tattoos when Seryu spoke. Congratulations Naruto. You have become our summoner. You may summon anyone from our clan for anything you wish of us and we will comply with the best of our abilities. The only thing we ask of you is to treat us with respect and we will return it tenfold. Also, summon us 3 years from now to receive our gifts to you. With that, he poofed back to the summoning realm. Farewell for now Naruto-kun. Suzaku crooned before puffing away back to the summoning realm, leaving a blushing Naruto behind. Well, bye for now shorty. He poofed away before he was hit by a rock the size of his head from an irate Naruto who was contemplating whether to summon the furball so he can hit him again for calling him shorty. Naruto drew in a deep breath to calm himself.